Welcome back to the Natural Balance Hoof Care Corner. We'll pick up where we left off last week working on this young mare with some long-term lameness problems. We've mapped out and trimmed the front feet and will now move to the back.
One of the things that we noticed earlier and failed to bring out before we started working on her was the fact that she stabs her toes in the ground behind when she walks. She also has a very sore back, and I want to just palpate that for you right now just to give you an indication of just how sore that is. Now I'm just barely touching her up there with less than a half a pound of pressure. She's more sore on this side over here, and she's sore clear back through her sacroiliac, all the way back through here. Now, it's hard to know what comes first, the chicken or the egg, whether she's compensating for being sore in front for that length of time, she's having to overuse the back end, or if she just has got some problems back there. She is fairly straight through the stifle area, which sort of predisposes her to some stifle problems, but at least as far as we've been able to figure out, she hasn't got anything at least that looks like stifle problems so far. So, but she certainly has a sore back, and I think that's something that we're going to try to work on with what we do with the back feet as well as the front feet. Okay, I'm going to work on this hind foot now, and she's just a little bit tight picking it up, and that's typical of horses with a sore back. I'm going to remove the apex of the frog, and the reason I'm doing that is so that I can find out how deep down there the actual sole is. That's going to give me some help as to how much of this foot I can actually take off. It appears as though, looking at it from the side, that there's an awful lot of excess foot there. You can see this frog is trying to come out. I'm going to just go ahead and accommodate for that. That tells me that this foot is trying to get rid of a lot of this stuff when it starts to move itself. Now, you can see a large ledge. It's real chalky down alongside here on both sides. Before I go any farther, I'll get a rough idea of where the widest part is. You can kind of see where this arc is the widest. Goes through about the same distance back from the apex of the frog. So there's still, on the hind foot, there's a lot of distance out in front. Granted, been on there for, this horse has been shod for a couple of months. Okay, I'm going to see where this little swell is here. That's generally an indication for the widest part of the foot. It's about 7/8 of an inch back from the apex of the frog. This line that I'm drawing around here, that appears to be the widest part, corresponds with this. So there we are. Got that cleaned out. Interestingly enough, I've got quite a bit more height on this side of the wall than I do on this side. And if you look at the curvature of the heels, you'll see that that corresponds with this distance as well. There's a slight difference in this curve than there is here. Okay. I'm going to continue my line around. This is just to ensure that I don't get too close over the toe. You watch this distance as I trim this back, and this is the principle about trimming the heels correctly. There's where the heels are. I'm going to draw this line across there, and I'll show you how we're going to increase the length of the back of this foot. I start with my nippers out of the cut here, direct my cut so that I'm just above this line, about 1/8 of an inch, and I'll cut right on through that heel. And you see the curve that was greater than this one before now is relatively equal. I've moved that heel from there back to there. Do the same with this side. I won't take as much off because it's not as deep through this gap, through the quarters here. So now I have heels that are basically the same curvature. Okay, now I'll go back, trim this front. Obviously, we're going to get rid of a lot of length because we're just basically trimming the excess off of this foot. And it is a lot longer than most feet would normally be. But just that little bit has changed the proportions from this widest part that we haven't moved nearly equal on both sides. That's going to make a huge difference to this little horse's back, I can assure you. We'll just prepare this very much like the front one. This line disappeared over here. I'll rasp this side until the line just disappears. Okay. Yeah, we'll just kind of level it up. You can see it's very, very easy to see this little inset here. You can see how that toe has been stretched forward from this point right here. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to have a normal curvature. You can feel it actually up on the front side as well. There's a dish in the wall. See how that one curves? This is her sore side too, isn't it? This hoof is different than the other one in many ways. If you look at there's the widest part. If you see it's not badly balanced from front to back in proportions to the other one. And these are the things that make the horse's frame try to adjust to these indifferences. The thing that's different about this that's really probably very critical is look at the curve in this heel with respect to this one here. There's almost that much difference in the length. Remember, as we trimmed these heels down, they got longer, and this one is way high, and so as she walks, she's going to rotate and bears weight. She's going to rotate her hock out. That's going to pull on not only the hock, but the stifle and this area of her back right there. The psoas muscle, which controls the sacroiliac as well as the femur, pulls this leg forward. This whole leg is constantly being rotated with each step that she takes. So we're going to try to make some differences with that by simply just following the same basic guidelines, and hopefully she'll respond favorably to that. So
that's all the time we have for this week. Please join us next week as we continue working on the lameness issues of this mare. If you would like more information about natural balance, please visit our website where you'll find articles, a natural balance tutorial, and product details. If you would like a free introductory DVD, please call us or visit nbhoofcare.com/TV.